I never imagined that opening one single email, just one, would turn a family dinner into a scene no one would ever forget, especially not my sister-in-law, Vanessa. That night, she walked in laughing at me, but she walked out crying, and all it took was the truth finally coming to light. Before I tell you what the email said, you need to understand the history behind it. My name is Emily, and I'm married into a family that treats social status like oxygen. Every conversation is about promotions, salaries, titles, corporate achievements. Basically, a never-ending competition of whose life looks the most impressive on paper. My father-in-law is a retired attorney. My mother-in-law runs a charity, but acts like it's a Fortune 500 company. My brother-in-law works in banking, and Vanessa, well, she's the loudest of them all. She works as a senior administrative assistant at a well-known marketing firm, and she never lets anyone forget it, even though she exaggerates her role like her life depends on it. Meanwhile, I'm a freelance digital designer. I work from home. I wear pajamas. I set my own hours. And I love it. But in their world, anything that doesn't look like a corporate office is considered a cute hobby. They smile at me, but I can always feel the patronizing energy behind their tone, especially from Vanessa. She has this habit of speaking to me like I'm a child who accidentally wandered into an adult meeting. I always ignored her comments. Until that night. It was my mother-in-law's birthday, and she insisted on a big dinner. The house was decorated like a wedding hall. Gold table runners, crystal glasses, floral centerpieces. The usual excessive setup that made them feel important. My husband Daniel squeezed my hand before we walked in. Don't let Vanessa get to you tonight, okay? She's been in a weird mood all week. I raised an eyebrow. When is she not in a weird mood? He laughed under his breath but didn't disagree. As soon as we stepped into the dining room, everyone greeted us politely. Then Vanessa arrived. She wore a shimmering gold dress, overly dramatic eyeliner, and the kind of confidence that only people who constantly need validation tend to have. Her heels clicked loudly across the floor as she approached us, and then, without even saying hello, she looked at me and smirked. So, Emily, still doing your little drawings on the computer? My smile stiffened. Daniel whispered, "Ignore her," but Vanessa wasn't done. Dinner hadn't even started when she launched her first attack. "Oh, you'll love this," she announced loudly, gaining everyone's attention. "One of my coworkers asked if your job is like real or just something to keep you busy." She laughed. Her husband Brian gave her a gentle nudge. "Vanessa, maybe don't." "What?" she said innocently. "I'm just asking. I mean, I've never understood how freelancing works." "Isn't it unstable?" My mother-in-law added quietly. "Well, dear, it's not a traditional job. That's all Vanessa means." No, that's not what she meant, and everyone knew it. Still, I kept my face neutral. Dinner was served, but Vanessa wasn't finished humiliating me. While we ate, she peppered me with little insults disguised as questions. "So, do you get benefits? Do you actually have clients? Oh, do you even have to wake up early? Must be fun not having responsibilities." She laughed after every remark, waiting for others to join in. Some of them did, awkwardly. But the worst moment came when she lifted her wine glass and said loudly, "To the people with real careers, the ones who actually work hard." My fork froze halfway to my mouth. Daniel's jaw tightened. "Vanessa, enough." But she waved him off. "Oh, relax. I'm just being honest. Not everyone can handle adult life." Her eyes flicked to me specifically. "Here's the thing. Vanessa didn't know. For 3 months, I'd been working on a secret proposal with a massive international marketing agency. It was competitive, intense, stressful, and I had given it everything. The final approval was supposed to come that week. I didn't know when, but I was hoping it would be soon. So as Vanessa mocked me, my phone buzzed. Once, twice, 3 times, notifications. I checked the screen, email, final contract approval, creative director collaboration. I stared at it, heart pounding. This was it, and the timing could not have been more poetic. I took a deep breath, then slowly, deliberately, I stood up. All eyes shifted toward me. Since we're talking about careers, I said calmly, I think it's a good moment to share something. Vanessa chuckled under her breath. Oh, did you get a discount code from an art store? Her friends laughed. I ignored the jab and opened the email. As I scrolled, Vanessa leaned forward, probably expecting something embarrassing she could mock. But her smile slowly faded. Because at the top of the email, in bold letters, it said, Welcome to the International Rebranding Project. Lead Creative Director, Emily Carson. She blinked, and then she noticed the sender. Her face dropped. It was from Mason Cole, Marketing Director, Ridgeway Global Agency, the same firm where Vanessa worked, the same department she bragged about constantly. The one she pretended to run? Everyone stared at her while I continued reading aloud. We are excited to finalize your contract. Your role will require directing mid-level staff during the project. Included on that list is one of our senior assistants, Vanessa Shore. Vanessa's breath caught. Her fork slipped from her hand and clattered onto the plate. You're kidding, she murmured, voice shaky. I smiled softly. No, in fact, Mason said he's very impressed with my work. This contract, it's the biggest I've ever taken. Silence. Pure, heavy silence. My mother-in-law looked between us, wide-eyed. Wait, she whispered. Emily, you'll be Vanessa's supervisor? Yes, I said. During the entire project, everyone's eyes snapped to Vanessa. Her face turned pale, then red, then somewhere between the two. Vanessa tried to laugh it off. This is a mistake. It has to be, Brian whispered gently. Vanessa, calm down. Calm down? She snapped. She can't be my supervisor. She doesn't even have a real job. Daniel folded his arms. Looks like she does. Vanessa's lip trembled. I work so hard. I should be the one in charge, not her. My father-in-law cleared his throat. Apparently, the company disagrees. That hit her hard? She stood up abruptly, chair scraping loudly. Tears filled her eyes as she stormed out of the dining room and into the hallway. Everyone sat frozen. Brian sighed heavily and followed her. The rest of the family looked stunned. My mother-in-law murmured, Emily, I had no idea your work was this significant. For the first time in years, her tone didn't sound condescending. Daniel squeezed my hand under the table. I'm proud of you, he whispered. About 10 minutes later, Vanessa returned with mascara streaks down her cheeks. She sat across from me without lifting her head. Then quietly, barely audible, she said, I'm sorry. The room was silent. She forced herself to continue. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that. I didn't know. I thought... She stopped and wiped her face. I thought you were beneath me. Her voice cracked. I was wrong. For once. She wasn't being sarcastic. She wasn't performing. She was genuinely humbled. I nodded. Thank you. And for the record, I never wanted to compete with you. I just wanted respect. She swallowed hard. You have it, I promise. The project started 3 weeks later. And yes, Vanessa had to report to me. But surprisingly, she behaved professionally. Maybe for the first time in her life. One day, after a long meeting, she approached me. I used to think people who didn't work corporate jobs were lazy, she admitted. But working under you, seeing how much effort you put in, I was wrong about everything. I smiled gently. Success doesn't always look the same for everyone. She nodded. I get that now. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. But one thing was certain. You don't need a fancy title to be valuable, and you don't need loud success to be successful. Sometimes, all you need is the right moment to let your work speak for itself. And in my case, it spoke louder than Vanessa ever could.